the whole way through this. I know Ben didn't like it.
I laughed a lot.
You liked it, okay. I laughed a lot, and a lot of it is just like their chemistry is so buoyant and so zingy that it keeps things moving, even though it's a little overlong. Not all the gags work, but they're so much fun together, and they get into a kind of a movie that we've seen a million times. You know, the all-night raging party movie.
Right.
We've seen that done so many times.
Yeah, this is like the premenopausal can't hardly wait.
But I don't think I can't think of any movie where the party went on this long. Any movie. I'll put it up there. This party must have
Project
lasted
X.
like an hour and 10 minutes of movie.
16 Candles?
This
Project
party
X
is
is an all-night.
75
No,
minutes.
actually, no, Can't Hardly Wait, really, almost the entire movie is the party.
What's that Russian Ark movie? That's all one take?
That's a
all one
party. That's a
Come on.
party. Here's the thing, I had kind of low expectations because I was not a fan of Baby Mama.
I wasn't really either.
Which I didn't.
Baby Mama is 3 times funnier than this movie. Baby Mama's
Wow,
funny.
I disagree.
You're wrong on Baby Mama, and you're wrong on this.
You're
Whatever,
wrong.
Han
You're
Solo.
wrong. So I kind of, but I think this one they sort of flip it where now maybe Polar is playing the sort of type A, pain, and Tina Fey gets to be the sort of trashy, irresponsible one.
That's kind of fun.
And it works. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's a little bit against type. The reason that I've never been a fan of the Anchorman movies, for instance, it just seems like bleh, 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 like just stuff thrown at the screen. Whereas,
First Anchorman is the 4th funniest movie ever made.
okay, again, you're wrong. So anyway,
No.
The second one's not very good. The first one's
nonetheless, what I like
Wait, I didn't find that to be the case, man. I am,
like the stuff with like Samantha Bee and her husband, for example, the way they're introduced and the way we actually meet them face to face,
And what they do.
and as they progress over the course of the evening, I thought, okay, that's a good build.
But then, yeah, that was a nice build, but it's at the end where there's a sinkhole, and it was just dumb, man.
It's Florida.
I like date night, but I got through date night because I'm like, look, and Admission, was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was terrible.
It was bad, but I'm like, I don't care. I like Paul Rudd and I love Tina Fey. Love Tina Fey.
I love both of them,
So
and I
just-
couldn't get through that movie.
So, but I like.
No,
I
got
mean,
through it.
I think Admission's better than this movie, and
Oh no!
Wow. That's shocking.
I'll give you your
That's not
Anchorman
funny.
craziness because you're a straight guy, but no way on Admission.
It's not funny, man. Nothing. It's silly. The party lasts forever. It's just dumb people doing shots. I hate every movie. I hate every movie with guys where all they do is shots and go.
It's not just that.
That's
Look,
no.
It is. Look. There's nothing there, man.
No. You're right. There's some really funny stuff.
I was not aware that sororities were not allowed to have parties and that fraternities are. Apparently, this is a true thing that happens in the world.
I can speak to this. Okay, so you're not supposed to have parties in your house. I was a Delta Gamma at Southern Methodist University. I'm very, very proud of that. But you're not allowed to drink in your house or have parties in your house. The fraternities can.
Why?
I don't know. I think
I realize that
nationally.
is almost a rhetorical
I
question.
mean, nationally, although not even all the fraternities could drink in their houses, it's just like some of them could. Anyway, but the sororities definitely could not. They did not stop us from drinking in the house, I will admit, or having boys over or things like that. I was a good girl in college, I promise. But
Tell me if I'm wrong. Woman,
all
spokeslady of an entire gender.
I'm
Whatever,
here
we
for
make you
you.
speak for
That's
everyone.
true. Yeah,
that's in.
Every
this is
gay
true.
person.
All right, so it's your turn now.
Thank you.
One thing that I found kind of almost conservative about this movie is that the sorority girls don't seem very sexual. Like in the frat guys in the first movie were like, they had women over all the time and they were molding dildos and all that stuff. And this time it's like the gals want to smoke weed and they want to drink and they want to party, but they, there's like one sign up at one point where the Chloe Grace Moretz character, it's like it's celebrating the loss of her virginity, but we don't know to whom or whom's. But that's it. Like that, and I just thought. I felt like if a woman had directed or even written this movie, they wouldn't have been so afraid to let these girls want to have sex.
Well, I would say that they are maybe sexy in their own way and not in the stereotypical sorority girl way, which you see in whatever the
And that's not what I'm
is,
asking
Lego
for.
is.
I'm saying a desire to have sex, not to be sexy.
Oh.
Like they've got Zac Efron living under their roof for a good chunk of the movie, and nobody even like touches his ass.
No, because
Come
the
on.
joke is that he's old because
Right,
he's like
he is
22.
Well, okay, that's
Calling
true.
him the hot guy, but he's also old.
That's interesting. Yeah, that hadn't occurred to me. I think that they were just being themselves, and that's who they wanted to be in this moment.
Right.
And Chloe Grace Moretz does have sex.
It's
so good
okay for
her.
women to not want to have sex.
I'm a believer in choice. I just given how the rest of this movie operates at the level of hedonism and of recklessness, it just seemed an odd
And they're criminals. They're drug dealers. They're thieves. I mean, they do what they have to do to survive.
I don't even know where to start on this thing.
Go,
I mean,
roll
okay.
with it.
Putting aside all issues of historical accuracy, since heaven knows movies don't generally get that right. So, okay, fine. You know, this whole movie is going to be about a fictional hunky blonde guy from Indiana who breezes into town, and not about like the people of color or the trans people or the butch lesbians, which historians disagree as to who, you know, played the bigger role. Let's put all that aside. This is a shitty movie. It's terribly acted. The writing is super like clunky and on the nose. The set is so obviously a set. More than one critic has pointed out that it looks like they made this movie on Sesame Street.
Yeah. It's like clearly like backlight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's like this one block that they keep shooting from different angles with like all these trees, so that you can't see this Manhattan skyline. It's clunky and it's amateurish and it's unengaging and just embarrassing.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah?
This movie stinks. It feels like something you'd see on like Lifetime. Like it's this really,
but not even new Lifetime, like old Lifetime.
right? Like
Cheesy?
old
Is that
Lifetime.
kinda
Like
cheesy?
it's, I mean, almost like an after-school special.
Did they actually show the actual riots? Like, is that well done at all?
It's okay. I mean, for a Roland Emmerich movie, you would expect like, okay, finally we're getting to the action sequence.
Right.
Now things are going to pick up.
Right, here come the flying saucer shooting
Flag.
shooting the
Someday,
green
you know,
laser
let's
into
destroy the
Stonewall.
White House. No, it's, you know, and the thing is that, I mean, it's staggering. There's a scene where the lead guy gets beaten up by the police and bloodied, and his pristine white t-shirt never gets a drop of blood on it. After the riots, like 2 of the drag queens, you know, / trans women are like, hey, we got our rights now. And I'm like, no, nobody thought that
Right.
after one riot,
Right.
you know?
Danny's been living with these homeless kids, like the rest of these young homeless
Like hustlers.
hustlers, right, that are bouncing from place to place. And almost every scene when he wakes up and gets dressed and like goes out to do what he's doing, he still looks like he's an Abercrombie and Fitch model. And he looks like he's wearing those clothes.
I'm not sure it is really cool. I think it's a lot of running, but not actually getting anywhere. This feels very repetitive.
It's a
to
middle
me.
chapter. They didn't get anywhere in Empire Strikes Back either.
No, but Empire Strikes Back is the best
let's
movie.
not
It's
even.
a whole another conversation. Godfather 2, they just kept running and didn't go. No, but it's so repetitive. It's like, okay, now they're in one concrete bunker with a bad guy in charge. Now they're in another one. Now they're running across the desert in the daytime. Now they're running across it at nighttime and there's lightning. It just feels like it's the same thing over and over again. I don't care.
I'm in a weird place with these movies because I don't give a shit about the story or the characters or the lead actor. But I like a lot of the supporting players. I think Dylan O'Brien is kind of a stiff, but they make it a point to always put somebody else on camera with him.
Yeah.
You know, to sort of like liven things up. And so, filmmaker, but I don't think he's a very good storyteller.
Oh, I think-
because I don't care about this post-apocalypse of all the gajillion post-apocalypse I've been seeing of late.
Well, that's the script then.
That is more the
Sure,
script
you know,
than
it's the
anything
script.
else.
The script is
Right?
a problem, and I don't know if maybe the book's a problem too. I didn't read
You
it.
know, I was-
and I shouldn't have had to read the book. So don't tell me in the comments, hey, you read the book.
You know what they're really-
I shouldn't have had to for this movie to work.
You know what they're really hazy on? I saw The Maze Runner when it originally came out. I haven't read the books either. And I like the first one fine. It's like baby's first Lost. But it's actually pretty good.
These fine fellows had the pleasure of seeing the Emoji Movie. I was on a plane. At some point, though, I'm going to have to go see it because the person in my house who is young and small really wants to go see it. Is it going to suck?
Yeah.
All right.
It is. It is.
Tell us about it.
So what happens when you're a studio and all the cool animated properties have been taken up and, you know, you're looking at the kids that are talking on the phone and emojis. Oh, cool. Let's make a movie out of that. Garbage.
This fucking movie. On Mystery Science Theater, when they had to watch Manos: The Hands of Fate, at the end they were like, "This kind of broke me. This kind of broke me."
This is it? After 20 years of being a film critic?
I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And it's like, it's not that it's a bad movie because it's about emojis. You know, we all thought the Lego movie was going to be
And that was
a thing,
great,
a
right?
problem, and that was
Yeah.
they actually bothered to like. I mean, I have some issues with that movie, but they put some thought into it, and they transcended what seemed like just a shitty cash grab. This movie does not do that. This movie is just a shitty cash grab. It is so
lumbering and unfunny and not pleasant to look at, and the plot doesn't make any sense. I mean, the world that they create in this movie doesn't make any sense. Like, why? I'm gonna get a migraine even thinking about the plot of this movie.
I'll get to your question in a moment. Amongst the issues with this movie, it breaks its own rules. It was one little bit that like flirted with competency. But otherwise,
my memoir.
Look, like I'm happy
Flirting with competency, a life.
And look, like I'm happy people got jobs and worked on this and got paid and made money and can support themselves and fed their families and whatever. But like you look at the money spent on something like this and like, look, come on, like I don't want to get political about this, but Jesus, that money could have been spent towards like something worthwhile.
And him picking the right emoji, because words are for losers.
Right. More eggplant.
Emojis is what you need.
Eggplant. Who's eggplant? Is there one?
There's an eggplant. There's an eggplant that is one of the never used emojis in his phone. I'm like, a 14-year-old boy doesn't use his eggplant emoji. I call bullshit.
So, what is your number?
0. This movie is garbage and does not need to exist, and you don't need to see it. No one needs to see it.
I do, but Nick Lemire wants to see it.
You know what? Be a good parent and say no.
You know what?
I'm changing my number.
Are you okay?
I'm going to give it a 0.1 just for casting Stephen Wright. Like that's the only thing this movie gets right.
So 0.05.
So yeah,
it
gets a 0.05.
I took Nick to Dunkirk.
And that's a good movie.
And that was great. And he gave that a 10 out of 10.
This table of professionals and did our job and went on to Netflix and watched Do-Over for you.
But rest assured, I will pick apart your numbers.
Please.
Having not seen this movie.
Please do, because they're all inaccurate. Go ahead. What's your explanation of the Do-Over for us, please?
There is no explanation for the Do-Over. All right, so David Spade is a schmuck and a loser, and at his 25th...
And he also plays someone...
Even by Adam Sandler levels of toxicity. Like,
really, I thought it was less toxic than the Ridiculous Six.
let me illustrate a moment in this movie that will haunt me in my dreams for the rest of my life. All right, okay. So Sandler and Spade are out on a big yacht cruising out into the Atlantic, because of course it's a Sandler movie, so it's all shot in vacation locations.
Puerto Rico.
Why else make a movie? They pull up alongside another big boat with like 4 bikini babes hanging out. They're all waving back and forth. They get 2 of the bikini babes to show their boobs. Woo! And then the bikini babes ask to see their dicks. So David Spade drops his trunks. They laugh at him and go, boo. Adam Sandler responds by shooting the women with a flare gun.
And,
shooting at them.
Right. Because they scattered in time.
That's the joke. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, Adam Sandler?
Well, I mean, like, do you expect that there would not be rampant misogyny in an Adam Sandler movie? All the women in this are skanky, or they're alcoholics, or they...
It's not ever funny.
Here's the thing, though.
Ever funny.
We always harp on how Adam Sandler movies try to be raunchy and inappropriate, and then they wedge in sentimentality about how family is important or whatever. This is actually trying to be about something of substance, which is why my number is a 1 and not a 0. I'm not saying it works. I'm saying it's actually trying to be about something relevant.
Of subtext.
Relevant, yeah. It's about cancer. It's about
and it is a cancer at the same time.
I think Adam Sandler might be trying to act.
Not in this one. Sometimes he does, but not in this one.
No, there are a couple scenes where he definitely tries.
Right.
I guess.
Like where he has to, where
now look,
this is the magic. This is the magic of Netflix. At one point last night, I was like, I cannot take any more of this, and I paused it, and I was exactly in the middle of the movie, like almost to the second in the little bar.
It's almost 2 hours long.
And then I woke up this morning, and I watched the rest of it because I'm good at my job. But oh my God, this thing's just.
Our frustration with Sandler is that he is capable of doing real work.